The world of high society and global media has always been captivated by the intricate lives of those who inhabit the grandest stages of modern history, where every public gesture, every carefully chosen word, and every artistic endeavor is scrutinized under a metaphorical microscope. When a prominent individual steps away from the traditional confines of an ancient institution, the world does not stop watching. Instead, the fascination intensifies, shifting toward how these figures choose to redefine their public narratives on their own terms. Literary creations have long served as a profound medium for this kind of subtle self-expression, allowing authors to weave deep personal histories, quiet reflections, and hidden messages into stories that appear entirely simple on the surface. A children's book, by its very nature, is designed to evoke a sense of innocence, warmth, and universal truth, offering a gentle space where complex emotions can be distilled into pure, accessible imagery. Yet, when such a book is penned by someone whose life has been a whirlwind of global attention, the publication ceases to be just a collection of illustrated pages and instead becomes a fascinating cultural phenomenon that invites deep exploration. It raises questions about the boundaries between public persona and private reality, and how an artist can use the simplicity of a poetic narrative to speak directly to the hearts of millions while whispering secrets to those who know exactly where to look to truly understand the weight of this creative milestone. One must look closely at the atmosphere of intense anticipation that preceded its arrival on the global stage, as audiences worldwide prepared for a unique glimpse into a highly private realm of emotional expression. This particular release managed to capture the immediate attention of both dedicated followers and casual observers, rapidly ascending to the absolute pinnacle of prestigious literary charts, most notably securing the coveted #1 spot on the New York Times bestseller list almost immediately after its debut. This instant commercial success and widespread cultural resonance proved that the appetite for stories originating from this unique perspective remains entirely undiminished, transcending the typical boundaries of children's literature to attract a massive audience of adults who are eager to analyze every single syllable and brushstroke. The widespread appeal of the narrative lies not just in its gentle, rhythmic prose, but in the profound realization that there is an entirely separate layer of meaning waiting to be uncovered by the discerning eye, turning a simple reading experience into a captivating treasure hunt. As we begin to peel back the initial layers of this beautifully constructed narrative landscape, we invite you to journey deeper into this unfolding story with us. And if you wish to remain informed about the hidden depths of contemporary media and culture, please take a moment to subscribe to our channel and join our growing community of insightful viewers. The visual architecture of this literary piece plays an absolutely crucial role in establishing its unique atmosphere. Brought to life through a brilliant collaboration with a highly acclaimed artist, whose distinctive style infuses the pages with an unmistakable sense of inclusivity, warmth, and gentle humanity. The illustrations do not merely accompany the text, they act as a vital counterpoint, enriching the written word and providing the exact physical space where the author's deeply personal inspirations can visually manifest in a way that feels both grand and deeply intimate. Every single vignette within the book centers around a recurring physical object, a humble piece of outdoor furniture that serves as a silent, steadfast witness to the quiet moments of growth, reflection, and quiet companionship that define the core human experience. This central motif was chosen with immense care, representing a stable anchor in an otherwise chaotic world, a place where individuals can pause, connect, and observe the passage of time in the company of those they cherish most in life. The initial reception of the book highlighted a fascinating duality, as young children were naturally drawn to the vibrant, comforting imagery and the soothing cadence of the story, while adult readers were simultaneously struck by the undeniable sense of a deeper, highly personal subtext running beneath the surface. It quickly became apparent to literary critics and dedicated enthusiasts alike that this project was never intended to be a fleeting, simple tale, but rather a carefully crafted piece of contemporary art designed to reward those who choose to look a second time with a much closer, more analytical gaze during a remarkably revealing broadcast interview with a major public radio network. The author openly confirmed what many sharp-eyed observers had already begun to suspect, shedding light on the intricate process of embedding specific narrative elements throughout the project. The creator explained with visible enthusiasm that the entire book is deliberately populated with a delicate trail of deeply meaningful internal references, described affectionately as literary and visual surprises that are tucked away into the very fabric of the illustrations and the text. This intentional design choice was born out of a collaborative creative spark between the author and the illustrator, who realized that the shifting depiction of the central symbolic furniture could serve as an interactive puzzle for the youngest readers while carrying immense emotional weight for adults. By establishing a specific visual continuity at both the very beginning and the ultimate conclusion of the book, the creators transformed the reading experience into a delightful game of discovery, encouraging children to track the evolution of each unique scene and its accompanying small details. Yet, beyond the playful mechanics designed for children, these hidden nuggets represent something far more profound for the author, serving as a quiet, permanent archive of personal memories, family traditions, and subtle nods to a grand heritage that continues to shape their worldview. As the author explicitly noted during the conversation, there is an extraordinary amount of special detail, meticulous planning, and genuine devotion infused into every single page, hinting at a complex web of connections that requires a thorough investigation to fully comprehend. As researchers and cultural commentators began to dig beneath the pristine surface of this best-selling phenomenon, the true scale of this hidden symbolic network began to reveal itself, pointing towards specific aesthetic choices that bridge the gap between the present day and a deeply cherished past. Among the most striking examples of this hidden choreography is the deliberate inclusion of highly specific botanical imagery, where a particular variety of flower appears in the background of a crucial scene, carrying an emotional resonance that stretches far beyond simple decoration. The author openly acknowledged that this specific floral choice was a direct, loving tribute to a legendary historical figure whose enduring legacy continues to captivate the collective imagination of the entire world, specifically identifying the flower as a direct nod to the husband's late mother. This revelation immediately added an entirely new dimension of emotional complexity to the book, transforming a gentle family narrative into a living monument of remembrance and familial love that honors the memory of a departed icon in a remarkably subtle, understated manner. The choice of this specific botanical element, renowned in the language of flowers for its eternal association with remembrance and fidelity, underscores the deep intentionality behind every single creative decision made during the development of this landmark publication. This is merely the opening chapter of a much larger, incredibly intricate tapestry of hidden meanings, personal tributes, and subtle messages that we will continue to explore as we prepare to unravel the full extent of this fascinating literary puzzle in the next segments of our report. The revelation of specific symbolic elements within the pages of this seemingly simple children's story has ignited an intense wave of analysis among cultural analysts, design experts, and dedicated observers worldwide, all seeking to decode the full scale of the visual narrative. To truly appreciate the tension and complexity underlying this project, one must understand how the collaboration between the author and illustrator transcended traditional storytelling to establish a highly deliberate system of personal communication. Christian Robinson, the celebrated artist tasked with bringing this narrative to life, utilized a unique blend of gouache, collage, and digital techniques to create textures that feel simultaneously modern and timelessly archival. Every brushstroke was carefully coordinated with the author's precise emotional prompts, ensuring that the final images did not merely decorate the text but expanded upon it, creating a dense network of subtext that requires multiple viewings to fully appreciate. The central motif of the outdoor wooden bench is not static. It alters its form, material, and surrounding environment across the various vignettes, reflecting the diverse and evolving nature of contemporary relationships and familial bonds. Experts who have analyzed the artistic progression of the book point out that the shifting styles of the benches themselves represent different eras, cultural touchpoints, and emotional states, effectively turning the book into a visual gallery of a family's internal journey through various seasons of life. The decision to embed highly specific personal milestones within a piece of mass-market children's literature represents a fascinating strategic choice, blending extreme public visibility with deeply guarded private intimacy. As the public began to examine the pages with a closer eye, it became increasingly obvious that the narrative was functioning as an intricate canvas for real-world representation, carefully documenting specific personal dynamics that have been the subject of global fascination for years. The relationship between the father and the young son depicted in the book directly mirrors the private bond between Prince Harry and his firstborn child, Archie Harrison Mountbatten Windsor, capturing specific moments of quiet instruction, shared joy, and gentle reassurance. Sharp-eyed readers quickly noticed that the visual depictions of the father figure in several key illustrations featured distinct characteristics that aligned perfectly with real-world photographs of the Duke of Sussex, down to the specific casual attire and recognizable physical traits. This direct visual mirroring elevates the book from a universal tale of parenthood into a specific, permanent historical artifact, a piece of public relations and personal art that anchors the family's contemporary identity in a medium that is deliberately soft, gentle, and non-confrontational. The tension within this narrative space arises from the contrast between the calm, serene world presented on the page and the intense, often chaotic media storm that continuously surrounds the creators in their daily lives, beyond the immediate depictions of the nuclear family. The depth of the embedded details extends into the realm of profound historical tribute, creating a bridge between the present generation and those who came before. The author's public confirmation that the delicate blue forget-me-not flowers were intentionally placed as a direct homage to Diana, Princess of Wales, sent shockwaves through the literary and media commentary landscapes, as this specific botanical tribute carries an immense weight of emotional history. The forget-me-not was famously known to be the favorite flower of the late princess, a symbol she often associated with her own personal style and charitable endeavors, making its appearance in this contemporary narrative a deeply intentional act of living remembrance. By weaving this specific flower into the background of a story centered on fatherhood and legacy, the creators effectively ensured that the spirit and memory of the late matriarch remain an active, visible component of her grandchildren's upbringing and public representation. This floral inclusion is not an isolated incident within the book. Rather, it forms part of a broader, more intricate botanical lexicon where various plants, trees, and natural elements are used to signify specific emotional truths, cultural connections, and personal sentiments. Analysts have noted that the inclusion of specific local flora also serves to ground the narrative in the family's new geographical reality, bridging their historic roots with their current life in California. As the analysis deepened, investigators began to discover even more subtle visual cues tucked away in the corners of the illustrations, including the quiet inclusion of beloved family pets that have shared the couple's journey across continents. In one particularly poignant vignette, a distinct breed of dog is seen lounging peacefully beneath the central wooden bench, an image that observers immediately identified as a realistic depiction of Guy, the Duchess's rescue beagle, alongside Pula, the family's black Labrador. The presence of these specific animals does not merely add to the domestic charm of the imagery. It serves as an authentic chronological marker, grounding the fictional scenes in the actual documented reality of the family's private household over the past several years. Furthermore, the architectural settings and background landscapes depicted in the book whisper of specific locations that hold immense personal significance for the couple. From the rolling hills of the English countryside to the sun-drenched gardens of their current estate. This careful layering of real-world elements creates a fascinating game of hide-and-seek for the audience, where the boundaries between a fictional children's universe and an elite contemporary biography become beautifully and intentionally blurred. The complexity of managing such a multi-layered creative project requires an extraordinary level of precision, as each element must satisfy the simple aesthetic demands of a child's book, while simultaneously standing up to the rigorous validation of global media analysis. This intricate visual strategy has generated an unprecedented level of discussion regarding the true intent behind the publication, with many viewing it as a masterful exercise in narrative reclamation and modern legacy building. By utilizing the gentle, universally celebrated medium of children's literature, the author has managed to present an idealized, deeply peaceful vision of family life that speaks directly to core human values of love, patience, and mutual respect. This presentation stands in stark, deliberate contrast to the sensationalized headlines and invasive media coverage that have characterized the couple's public experience, offering an alternative, self-authored archive of their personal reality. The presence of the royal Easter eggs, such as the tribute to Princess Diana and the specific references to their private life, ensures that the book remains inextricably linked to a grander historical narrative, reinforcing their continued relevance and emotional connection to the past. As the public continues to dissect the pages, discovering new details with every reading, the book functions as a self-sustaining ecosystem of engagement, keeping the audience captivated by the subtle interplay of image and text. The growing tension between the simple surface narrative and the heavy, historic subtext sets the stage for a deeper exploration of the individual biographies and broader cultural impacts that this unique literary phenomenon represents. A topic that demands an even closer examination of the figures involved. To truly comprehend the global resonance of this unique literary achievement, one must closely examine the remarkable life paths of the individuals at its center, whose personal histories have fundamentally shaped the modern cultural landscape. The author, Meghan Markle, Duchess of Sussex, entered this creative endeavor not merely as a first-time children's book writer, but as an internationally recognized figure with a diverse background in the arts, media, and global advocacy. Long before her marriage into one of the world's oldest institutional families, she had established her own distinct public voice, navigating the competitive world of American television as a successful actress, managing an influential lifestyle platform. and working extensively with major international humanitarian organizations. Born and raised in Los Angeles, California, her early life exposed her to the intricate inner workings of the entertainment industry, instilling a deep appreciation for the power of visual and written storytelling. This professional background provided her with a unique perspective on public communication, allowing her to understand exactly how media narratives are constructed, dismantled, and reclaimed. When she began crafting this poetic tale, she brought all of these diverse life experiences to the page, utilizing her understanding of mass media to create a narrative that operates successfully on multiple levels of communication simultaneously. Her transition from a prominent television actress to a global public figure, and finally to a New York Times best-selling author, represents a highly calculated and deeply personal evolution in self-expression. Equally central to the book's emotional foundation is the figure of Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex, whose lifelong journey under the relentless glare of the global media spotlight provides the vital context for the story's themes of fatherhood, vulnerability, and quiet resilience. As the younger son of King Charles III and Diana, Princess of Wales, his life has been defined by an extraordinary duality, balancing the rigid expectations of ancient state traditions with a deeply ingrained desire for personal authenticity and normal human connection. His extensive career in the military, which included 2 active deployments to conflict zones, profoundly shaped his character, fostering a deep commitment to service, camaraderie, and the welfare of veterans worldwide. A commitment that eventually culminated in his founding of the highly celebrated International Invictus Games. This background of intense public duty and personal sacrifice makes the quiet, gentle moments of domestic fatherhood depicted in the book all the more poignant, highlighting a deliberate shift away from the grand stages of public ritual toward the quiet sanctity of the family home. The narrative's focus on the deep bond between a father and his young son reflects a profound desire to build a protective, loving environment for the next generation, ensuring that his own children can grow up surrounded by a sense of emotional security that he often found challenging to maintain during his own highly scrutinized youth. The broader cultural and historical implications of this project extend far beyond the immediate biographies of its creators, touching upon a fascinating shift in how public figures manage their long-term legacies and engage with global audiences. Historically, members of prominent ruling families have communicated with the public through highly formalized channels, relying on official portraits, structured press releases, and carefully stage-managed public appearances to convey their messages and maintain their institutional authority. By choosing the medium of an illustrated children's book, the Duchess of Sussex bypassed these traditional filters entirely, establishing a direct, emotionally resonant connection with millions of families around the world on her own precise terms. This strategic choice allows the couple to control their own archive, presenting a vision of their private reality that is defined by peace, stability, and enduring familial love, effectively counterbalancing the often turbulent and sensationalized media commentary that follows their public lives. The deliberate inclusion of the hidden references, particularly the beautiful botanical tribute to the late Princess Diana, serves to anchor their contemporary family identity within a grand historical lineage, reminding the audience of their deep roots while boldly asserting their independence. This approach to modern storytelling demonstrates a profound understanding of contemporary celebrity culture, where the boundaries between the public persona and the private individual are constantly being negotiated, rewritten, and reinterpreted, as the book continues to maintain its strong presence in households and educational institutions globally. Its enduring impact is being measured not just by its impressive sales figures, but by its ability to spark meaningful conversations about modern family dynamics. The success of the publication has solidified the couple's position as influential creators within the competitive global media marketplace, proving that their ability to capture the public's imagination remains incredibly potent across various industries. This literary project represents merely one component of a much larger, multifaceted media strategy that includes major documentary production deals, global charitable initiatives through their philanthropic foundation, and continued advocacy for digital safety and mental health awareness. By weaving their personal truths into the accessible, comforting format of a children's story, they have created an enduring cultural artifact that will continue to be read, analyzed, and cherished for generations to come. The intricate tapestry of hidden meanings, visual Easter eggs, and deep emotional tributes embedded within the pages ensures that the book remains a fascinating subject of study for cultural commentators, design enthusiasts, and casual readers alike. In the grander narrative of their shared journey, this project stands as a powerful testament to their resilience, a quiet assertion of their values, and a beautiful monument to the enduring power of family love in an increasingly complex and chaotic world.